The Veridian Ballet Company lounge was relatively quiet, a necessary balm. The biting wind rattled the tall windows, a constant reminder of the late January chill. Even at lunch, the air hummed with dancers' energy. Ashland's resistance band thwacked rhythmically against the floor, Lily. And Jean murmured about a difficult combination. Discarded warm-up layers rustled. Just past 1 p.m., the weak winter sun cast long shadows across the worn linoleum. I sat at a small table, eating my quinoa and grilled chicken. Fuel. Practical. Necessary. Across the room, May curled on a worn sofa, lost in a novel, pushing lettuce around a container. Her quietude seemed amplified by the bleak light. Is she warm enough? Eating enough? A familiar protective nudge surfaced. Tommy, never still, practically vibrated, scrolling on her phone, and inhaling a cream cheese bagel, bundled in layers over her leotard. Defiance radiated from her. Easy, chica, I thought, worry tightening my chest. Burning that bright in January takes a toll, but Tommy ran on pure fire. Advice about pacing was pointless. Nearby, Ashlyn and Celeste compared strategies for keeping point shoes workable in the dry heat. Celeste murmured, tracing the condensation on her water bottle. Tried the humidifier near my shoe bag. But they still crackle. Ashlyn nodded. Steam from the shower helps sometimes. Slightly. Maybe. Steady Ashlyn, finding common ground with ethereal Celeste. Across the room, Gwen and Poppy compared strategies for breaking in new point shoes. Poppy complained, fidgeting, tried the new gel pads. But they shift when I do fouettes. Gwen nodded. I went back to lambswool. Sometimes old school is best. Then, Veronica Bellwether's sharp, brittle laugh rang out. I kept my focus on my lunch, tuning her out. My body felt like a tightly strung instrument. An ache pulsed in my right hip. An echo from the Nutcracker Run. The memory of sugary costumes and fake snow felt like ancient history, replaced by Giselle. And the bone-deep weariness of winter. Left hamstring tight, right shoulder needs watching, feet always complaining. Manageable. It had to be, especially considering tonight. My phone vibrated. Logistics for tonight. Nocturne. 11 p.m. The later start time didn't lessen the load. It stretched the day. Midnight start meant getting home near 3 a.m., only to be back by 8:30 for morning class. The knot in my stomach tightened. It wasn't just muscle fatigue. It was a precarious balancing act fueled by necessity, caffeine, and willpower. Focus, Elena. One rehearsal at a time. Survive Volkov first. The lounge shifted. Lunch containers clicked shut. Bags zipped. Dancers pulled on extra layers, preparing for the studio. The brief respite was over. Time to face the maestro, and the ghost of a girl danced to death. I rinsed my container, my movements clipped, efficient. As I headed for the door, May looked up, her perceptive gaze meeting mine. She offered a small, knowing smile. I attempted one in return, hoping my calm facade wasn't transparent. Time for the mask. Time to dance Giselle. Pushing through the studio door felt like stepping into a different kind of cold. The familiar alchemy. Aged wood. Rosin, sweat, hairspray. Less a home, more a crucible. The faint afternoon sun gleamed on the polished floor. Dust motes danced in the light. My gaze swept the room. Dancers at the bar. The murmur of stretching. The ghost of Nutcracker felt fainter here, overshadowed by Giselle. The weight of the role settled onto my shoulders. An honor, yes. But today, it was heavy. At the bar, Ashlyn confided to Celeste, wrapping tape around her toes. My blister finally healed. But now my arches are screaming. Celeste nodded, sinking into a PLI. Solidarity. Just be glad we survived snowflakes. Kaplia next season will feel like a tropical vacation. I nodded, laying my hand on the icy bar. Grounding. Necessary. My reflection was stark. Severe bun, sharp cheekbones, shielded eyes. I began pliss, coaxing warmth into my muscles. Control. Find the control. Tommy burst in, radiating heat, shedding layers. Across the room, Edith Ingalls moved with cool precision, while Veronica Bellwether, already positioned, cast a bored glance my way. My rival. The buzz of stretching ceased as the studio door swung open. Maestro Anton Volkov. Silence. Spines straightened. His icy blue eyes scanned us. Dissatisfaction radiated from him. Positions, he commanded. A curt nod to Madame Moreau at the piano. Act 1. Village entrance. Prepare. A sharp clap. Music! The first notes of Giselle floated into the tense air. The village girl. Young. Innocent. I moved to center stage, pulled the character around me, pushed down the anxiety. Become Giselle. Muscle memory carried me through the choreography, while my mind wrestled with fatigue. The steps felt ingrained. But the floor felt slick, the air heavy. The hops on point felt like landing on broken glass. Volkov's voice cracked. No, Laurent. Weak. The palmant. Where's the joy? Again. We reset. I focused on projecting warmth, forcing air beneath my jumps. My lungs burned. A tremor threatened my balance. I locked my core. Control. Core. He spun. Alignment. You look like wilting daisies. Energy. May. Your spacing crowds her. Give her room. Autumn. Control that landing. Are you a dancer or an elephant? Thomas' cheeks flushed, but her next jump was fiercely contained. May melted back, instantly perfect. Ashland's gaze met mine. Breathe, she mouthed. I nodded. This silent language, this shared endurance, held us together. We moved into Giselle variation. The allegro felt frantic. The balances precarious. The hops on point. Brutal. My new point shoes felt soft. My left arch screamed. My right shoe felt limp. Another pair nearing their end. Just this variation, I told myself. Hold the line. Stay light. Breathe. Don't let him see. But the other clock ticked. Rehearsal ends 5:30. Subway, protein bar. Home by 6:15. Try to rest. Try to eat. Then, Nocturne. Different costume, different heat, different dance. 11 p.m. start. 2:30 a.m. finish. Subway home. 4 hours sleep. Back here, at 8:30 a.m. The cycle felt relentless. Holding back energy felt like stealing from Giselle, from Volkov, from the art. But survival demanded it. Control, Elena. Just maintain control.